Welcome to another edition of The Metal Voice. With me again today is Giles Lavery. Giles.
How you doing, Jimmy? What's happening, man?
We have a wonderful show today. Today we're going to be reviewing Overkill's new album, White Devil Armory, as well as a report from Giles at the Bang Your Head Festival in Germany. He'll tell us what happened, who was there, backstage, all the action. Overkill, White Devil Armory.
Overkill is one of those bands that I kind of call like the AC/DC of thrash. They just keep doing what they do. They totally ignore trends, what's going on around them for the most part. They just keep forging ahead. I think if you were a fan of Ironbound, if you're a fan of the Electric Age, you're definitely going to be a fan of White Devil Armory. It's a continuation, you know, that Ironbound is kind of considered that, you know, critical or even maybe a little bit commercial renaissance for the band, where they kind of galvanized their fan base by, you know, returning a little bit to the thrash sound. Not that they ever departed from it, but I just think the composition was real strong on that album, and they followed that up with the Electric Age, and now they followed it up again with White Devil Armory, and I think they're really just consolidating their position right, you know, in thrash right now. I think this is a great album. Yeah,
I agree. I look at it like this: it's a heavy metal locomotive, Overkill, for the past 3-4 albums. It's a heavy metal locomotive, and no one's getting off. We're passing all the stations, and you can't get off. And every time I put on an Overkill album, I'm like sweating from exhaustion.
It's a heavy metal locomotive, and no one's getting off. We're passing all the stations, and you can't get off. And every time I put on an Overkill album, I'm like sweating from exhaustion.
Overkill, White Devil Armory. There's just so much happening. And the highlight for me, Giles, is always the production, especially in the last 3 albums. The production has a super highlight. I mean, it's a perfect mix of rhythm guitar, this metal wall of sound of rhythm guitar. The guitar solos are always melodic, and they're always interesting to listen to. And of course, Bobby Blitz, I mean, you love him or hate him. Some people love him, some people hate him. But he defines that thrashing Overkill sound. Do you agree?
I certainly couldn't imagine Overkill without Bobby Blitz, that's for sure. And let's not forget one hell of a front man live. I've seen them live, and he's just a relentless energy from the beginning of the show all the way up to the end.
Yeah, some song highlights for me. Armorist, the first track. At first, I thought, okay, this is typical Overkill, but the more times I heard it, I really enjoyed it. Thrashing, trashing, ripping. It's just typical Overkill. Down to the Bone, I found was a huge highlight for me, as it was it was more melodic, and I found it was more multi-instrumental in a sense. There was more going on in the song, and it was just a very fresh sounding Overkill song.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't know if you're a big fan of Pigs, but I love Pigs. I love the title, I love the song. It just, you know, they're sort of venturing off a little.
I thought it was a little bit more punky, bit more hardcore influence. But you know, a track that really stood out for me is the 4th track down, Bitter Pill.
Yes.
That, you know, that slow bass line, you know, that slow dark bass line with, you know, building riffs over top of that. A little bit like I'd say from Horoscope or something like that. I thought that was a really cool track. It built into a really cool melody. It sort of sounded menacing and dark. Really cool, really good song.
And the last real highlight for me is In the Name. It's the last track on the album. I thought it was a great way to close the album. You know, what can I say? Thrashing, ripping, soaring. That's Overkill for you. You know, if you love the last 2 albums or the catalog of Overkill, you're going to like this album as well, or love it.
And I think if you like the last 2, you'll like this one. It's almost like it's business as usual for them. And there's no alarm bells ringing. They're not going grunge. There's no new metal in there. There's no techno or whatever. It's Overkill doing what Overkill do best.
Well, anyways, there you have it. A quick review of White Devil Armory by Overkill. Pick up the CD, download the album legally, and, you know, just go out and catch them on tour.
Overkill, White Devil Armory.
All right, Giles, let's get into Bang Your Head Festival in Germany. Now, what town is this in? I don't know anything about Germany. All I know is Berlin.
It's in a place called Balingen.
Okay.
And it goes for 2 days. There's a warm-up party on the Thursday night. And this ran from the Friday all the way through to the end of the Saturday. Twisted Sister were the headliners on the final night. Yeah. Axel Rudy Pell were the headliners on the first night. He was doing a 25th anniversary of his solo band. Sure. He had a lot of cool guests with him. He had Graham Bonnet, Jeff Scott Soto, Vinny Appice on drums.
You know, my friends Trader were there. I was really happy that they were there. You know, young, thrashing band from Germany. And I know that's their hometown. And, you know, all the best. And I was very excited for them as they played their set. Giles, tell us of the people you met, the backstage gossip. What was going on backstage? What was happening at Bang Your Head Festival this year?
Oh, man, I had a great weekend. I had a really good time hanging out with the guys from Riot and all the bands. I mean, there was just it was like a who's who back there, man. We had met a lot of cool people. Striper were there. They performed a great set. Had a quick chat with Michael Sweet, lovely guy. Oz Fox, awesome dude as well. Man, you know, it was great. There was Michael Schenker was there in his band. He had Herman Rebel on drums from Scorpions, you know, ex-Scorpions. Also Francis as well. So it was great to meet a couple of classic Scorpions members there. And Schenker's set was fantastic. Doogie White did a great job.
Beautiful.
Good mixture of Scorpions classics and MSG classics and some stuff from the new record. Another real highlight was, of course, Twisted Sister's headline set. Real, just aggressive energy. You know, everything you'd expect from a Twisted Sister set. I mean, I could go on and on and on. There was so many great bands. Europe, great set.
Joey Tempest.
Joey Tempest, nice guy. Oh yeah. John Norum, man, what a player. I mean, their set was largely focused on. Well, it was at least 50-50 new material plus old classics. I cannot say enough good things about, you know, Riot's set. They were fantastic. I was side of stage watching them, and they were just tearing it up.
What was it like?
They were on like 2:30 in the afternoon. 2:30 in the afternoon they were on, and they were just ripping it up. You know, they were playing stuff from Thundersteel, and they played the new track Metal Warrior. Yeah. They even back at the hotel, they gave me a preview of the new record, and I got to say, September cannot come soon enough. The new Riot record.
So Giles, what was it like going on stage and singing in front of, I don't know, 30,000 plus people?
Okay, man. Yeah, that's a funny story. I think you've got a photo there as well.
Okay.
Me and Mike from Riot were side of stage. What we didn't know was there was an all-star sing-along at the end of Smoke on the Water, where they had Graham Bonnet out there. Tony Carey was leading it. Jeff Scott Soto, singer from Pretty Maids. And it was everyone out on stage. So we kind of just went with the flow. Out we went. We sung Smoke on the Water with them as well. Cool. It was really cool. It was fun. A whole lot of fun, as you can see from the picture.
There you go. Overkill, White Devil Armory, as well as a report from our roving reporter, Giles Lavery, in Germany. Bang Your Head Festival. Catch you next time on The Metal Voice.